Okay, it's on.
Okay.
See you. Okay.
Welcome everybody to the first episode of Richmond Truth Seeker. I am a resident of Richmond. I've lived here over 50 years. I'm going to be producing a series of videos to help explain what is going on. I find many of the long-term residents feel that they are sort of lost and treading water, not understanding what is happening, and I wish to inform them what exactly is going on and how our blessed governments are effectively working against us, not for us. So that being said, we're going to do a slow walk around City Hall here, and then we're going to I'm going to talk as we explain. Okay. One of the key things with any government is the administration that is set up. There was a major change in administration in Richmond in 1996. Okay, we had major change at the top, as well as several new politicians came online. No sooner did they come in that they voted without any referendum, any authorization to build this new city hall. Now, what I'd like to show you is we call this sort of the Taj Mahal. Many of us old timers. You can see sort of the over-the-top architecture here, much wasted space. You'll notice this fountain is currently shut off due to the water restrictions, but we've had a little douse of rain. But you can see the water flows down those stairs over there. It meanders into this pond and continually flows, so it's pumping 24/7, 365. From my understanding, the design was consistent with a certain ethnic group, which has been basically buying up Richmond. So we're basically paying for something that really is sort of ethnocentric. Now, continuing on, I would submit that Richmond is probably the center of the universe insofar as cultural tensions and displacement. What we're finding is many of the politicians are turning a blind ear to many of the changes. It's not that the established residents are feeling any special treatment. It's basically we're being spit on by our own politicians and the city staff here. One of the main issues here, we have what we call a signage issue, where many of the signs posted are in Asian languages, and there's been a feeling of isolation by many citizens who cannot even communicate or understand what the business is. We've even had comments from some long-term citizens who've really taken the cause, and kudos to them, where they've actually been told by the senior politicians, well, why don't you just take the money and run? In other words, fuck off, in the politest words. We'll continue around this little Taj Mahal. You will often see, just as another tidbit, you'll often see 7 or 8 city trucks here at one time manicuring this little testament to the City Hall ego. They'll be pruning and cutting and making this look all nice and perfect. Of course, the taxpayers' cost to satisfy those egos I just mentioned. Now we're just going to make a turn around the right here. Yeah, we had a bit of a windstorm, which explains some of the dead trees and branches. It's quite a violent one, as you can see here, but and I'm not going to say I'm going to blame the politicians for that, but then again, you never know. An interesting thing I'll point to is that building over there with the brown bricks. That used to be our old RCMP station. Okay, it's very centrally located. You know, adjacent to a city hall is a good locale. However, the city has moved the station to the farther edges of Richmond. So I would say they're probably about 4 or 5 miles from this locale. This building has been renovated to accommodate more city staff because from my understanding, talking to some people on the inside, this city hall was already built too small when it opened up in 2000. In other words, they still did not have enough space in the building when it opened up, and they still needed extra facilities. You can see down that gallery, incredible waste of space. It's got a two cathedral sort of set up in the front, and then back balconies. Yeah, we're just meandering to the, this would be the west side of the building. Now, what they've also done is built a underground parking lot for all the staff. As you can see, us humble peons cannot park inside there. So the staff gets 24/7 secured parking. I'm not sure if it's paid, if they are paying for it. But the other thing too is, construction of this thing has a pumping system. Because we're below sea level, we're actually, the floor in that building is below sea level. A pumping system is required, again, 24/7, to facilitate the drainage of this. So again, was this a very well-built building? You know, it's not the energy efficiency we seem to claim governments are always wanting to get into. Yeah, we're about now the last sort of area of the complex. This is raised parking here. Then of course there's lower parking over there. The parking over there is for our private shopping malls. And then we're going to swing over here to our courtyard area. Now, another facet I'd like to show you is say comparison with the old building versus the new. The previous structure was a 3-story wing design, and it was so user-friendly. You could walk up, literally go up to the mayor's door and knock on his door, just like you would any sort of office. However, what's happened now is you have people are permitted on the. Let's walk a little closer. People are permitted to migrate in the lower floor here, where you see the city hall there. Okay, access to any higher floor requires an escort. You're not permitted to approach any office in the upper floors, like there's a second floor there. You need to get escorted to all those floors prior to. If you want to meet with anybody, okay. Often the staff will come down and meet with you here. So basically, we have sort of the Stalinesque bunker mentality, where we don't have it very user friendly. It's kind of that is, I think, totally intentional. It's by design so that people will not will sort of learn who's boss, and you know, it's sort of like, you know, it's a parent-child type of relationship. So that's basically the infrastructure of the city as far as the building is concerned. Again, without referendum, without any mandate, you never know what the final budgets are in these things. Things can be hidden and squirreled away in all sorts of manners. But basically, this is an ego trip built by our city, and of course we seem to have no say, but I think that's about to change. I think a lot of people are fed up with the mentality. One little anecdote I'd like to say: when this building was built, they had to use a temporary location for the staff. This is about 20 years ago. While this was being built, it was opened in 2000, but it took a few years to build. I went to the front desk to talk with a person, and they came up to me, and I never met this person before. This is the front desk worker, you know, literally the greeting person for City Hall. And she says, "You know what? There's an atmosphere of fear around here." And I'm thinking, I was kind of like dumbfounded. I'm thinking, "Excuse me?" I mean, why? I think it's all to do with the transition of the administration, and I think that fear, we're talking to various people, is still manifested here, and I think that's not a healthy thing, and I think we need to clean it out, and we need to clean it out fast. So that's my introduction to the what I call the Dr. Frankenstein's lab, where all the evil experiments happen in Richmond.